All right, another episode of Conversation After Dark. Tay, what's up with you?
Everything's good with me. What's going on with you?
It's all good. It's all good. Tell people how they can find us.
You can find us at Conversate After Dark everywhere. And if you would like to be a guest on the show or you have a topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at CVAD the podcast at gmail.com.
That's right. You can also go to our website, www.conversationafterdark.com. Listen to past episodes. Make sure you tell everybody about the show. So Tay, you got them bangles on. It makes me think you got on like the old school earphones and stuff, you know?
Oh, yeah. I guess it looks like that. I don't know.
It does, but then I'll peep that it isn't. But I like that type of shit though. Have you ever heard the guy say he likes it when a woman knows how to accessorize?
I've heard that, and I'm not one of those women.
What?
No,
You got a little thing going on. You got the little thing
I
plunging
wear
in
this
between your
every day,
cleavage.
so I don't consider this accessories because I wear it every day. And I mean, I can put on earrings, but outside of that,
What can we ask what it is?
what'd you say?
Can we ask what it is? What you're wearing every day? I got an idea of what it is, but
No, I said this is I wear this every day. Outside of that,
what
no.
is it?
Oh, it's just a chain.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's just, it's just
I
a
thought
chain.
I thought it was like some people like cremate family members.
Oh gosh, no.
You know that happens, right?
I do know they have that. I've seen where you can get family members cremated and put into things, but no. I do actually have a family member in my house. But that's a different story. But I'm not getting him put into anything.
Yeah, because I saw people do that shit, and I was just like, I would hate, like, I want to be cremated, right?
Okay.
But don't put me on no goddamn chain. Or no. Like, my son can put me on the chain, but my daughters can't put me on the chain.
Why?
Because I don't want their ass wearing me on the chain and somebody hitting her from the back and shit. Then I'm swinging back and forth, and all that old bullshit. At least if it's my son, I got a good view.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even think about that. I have a chain that my sister got for us after my father passed with the picture of the three of us on it. And I've had that on, but it didn't even cross my mind.
Daddy, poor daddy, traumatized.
Probably shouldn't even say that on here.
Traumatized seeing all that shit. Yeah, nah, don't put me on no damn chain. You put me on a t-shirt, make sure you take it off when y'all do the do.
No.
Anyway, let's do the warm-up. I'm tripping.
Okay. You got the specific topic you want me to?
Do Sexy 69 After Dark.
Okay. Describe how you like to receive oral sex.
Oh shit. How I like sex. I like it when she gets off on it. Like I always say, I'm not really that big into getting head. And whenever I say that, people kind of like, what? I personally believe that there's a good number of women who aren't good at it because they really don't want to do it.
Okay.
And you can tell, right? It's kind of like a formality, quid pro quo or what have you. And there's nothing worse than that. But when you get one of them that love, but they're doing it for them, not for you, that's the type of oral sex I want to receive.
Okay.
It's like that. It's you can tell they just getting lost, and you kind of like, hey, all right, cool. Like let's move on to something else. And listen, they gobbling on the dick, So yeah, so it's often real passionate, kind of sloppy and all that old stuff. So yeah, it really doesn't matter. Of course, no teeth.
Right.
And I don't know why y'all tend to do that a lot.
So y'all
Can y'all tell?
say the ones who don't know how. I have never.
Never.
Not even in my learning phases. I never thought teeth were a good thing down there. No, never been accused of it.
Can y'all tell?
I don't know. I mean, I know where my teeth are in my mouth, so I know where they are in comparison to everything else that's in my mouth. So I don't know.
Because sometimes you got to tell them like, "Hey, yo, wash your teeth." Sometimes you even at this big old age that we at right now, you got like, hey, and sometimes I think that's like some like, if I do it shitty enough, he won't ask me to do it again.
Yeah.
I think that might be a part of that, but like, there's someone you gotta tell them like, yo, like, wash your teeth.
Mm. I don't know. At least I've never been told that that's been a problem of mine. So I mean, and it's never. It's. I mean, I've grazed it on it slightly, you know, just as a different sensation, but never how I hear it's done. Because yeah, I've heard some horror stories with teeth and that.
Thank God I never had a horror story,
Mm-hmm.
but and I think people's mouths are, different. Some women got big, dick sucking jaws, and some women don't. And I don't know, but it's not pleasurable
Yeah, I
at all.
may have witnessed it too. May have, maybe not.
You witnessed the teeth on it. That's too much.
Well, I heard the ouch, but again, it wasn't me. So I never had that problem.
Yeah, Dad. Nah, no, yeah. Watch your teeth, lady. Watch your teeth. So, all right, for you, how you like to receive it?
It's hard for me to put it into words. I can say what I don't like versus how to do it. Like
Yes, let me guess. You don't like it when he's too gentle.
it depends. See, it depends because I've had it that way. But I do like a lot of pressure. So I prefer it not gentle, not too gentle, because I don't want somebody gnawing on me and acting
So
like
not too rough. You mean not too rough?
yeah, I'm kind of like Goldilocks. I'm like in the middle. I don't want it. I don't want it on. I don't want to sit on his face. I don't want it from the back. I have to be laying on my back.
Well, I mean, hey, this is October. I know
Mhm.
people gonna be watching this, in the future, but we're recording this in October right now. We ain't gonna tell you what year.
Right.
And October is official Ride His Face month.
Yeah,
And
I saw that.
so you ain't with the face riding?
I'll do it if that's what he likes, but that's not. I'm not always comfortable up there, so it doesn't like I can't really get into it. So it does nothing for me.
You're not the only woman that said that. And I mean, but that's something that y'all, yeah, like y'all go to crack. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna ride his face. I want to sit on your face. I think that's just something y'all say to talk shit, because
Yeah.
most of y'all say that y'all don't really care for it. Is it because you can't relax to enjoy it, or are you scared you're going to smother him?
Both. I can't relax because I'm not trying to have to call 911. They say, "What happened?" No, that's not what I want to do.
You do realize that we can adjust you so that we can breathe, right?
I know it's uh,
Like we hey, listen, I don't want to go while I'm coming. So, you know what I mean? So yeah, we can move you, and we can kind of adjust so we can get that little, how like the scuba divers, they train to just come up just like a little bit of come up
yeah.
a little bit of air, and then we're gonna keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah, I prefer on my back. I can relax into it, and I can get into it. And I don't like a guy who goes straight for the clit and then stays there. Like there's a whole vulva down there. And every part like sensation. So I need every part paid attention to.
all right, guys. She didn't get you the blueprint. She didn't get you the blueprint. You know what they say? Tell you ain't supposed to tell people what you want.
I did, like I said, it's hard for me to tell you exactly what I want. So that's not everything. That's just a few little pointers.
Have you Now we talked about how like we didn't watch them porn flicks.
Mm.
Have you ever seen those flicks where those smothering? I can't. Is that what they call it? Is it smother? But like they'll have like a little bitty dude laying out on the bed, and they'll have a woman with a big old ass, like a big old BBW, and she'll be like smothering his ass, like sitting down on his face, and I'm like, damn, that dude. Hey, I don't know, man. It's tough.
I've
Yeah.
never, I've never watched those.
What?
That's not my thing. I've seen it drawn out in cartoons, cartoon memes or whatever, but I've never actually gone to a porn site and specifically.
I mean, it's nothing that you get off. At least I don't. But it shows like random scenes or whatever. Depending on your algorithm. I don't know what I was watching, but like,
I don't need to get that, but
and then I saw something. I think it was like a real sex documentary. They call it fart porn.
oh, okay, I've heard of that.
Listen, nah. What you tell me? Don't let nobody's young, but that right there, don't
But
fart.
go ahead.
Don't fart in my face, man. That's gonna be instant flaccid.
Yeah, yeah. That's that's not one of those things that I get into because we talked before about like bodily functions and elimination. There's a big red nose for me. I can't get into that. Oh,
I don't even like it when a woman burps around me.
well, it's better that way than the other way.
What you mean?
Burps are just farts the other way. That's what I'm saying. It's better a burp than a fart to me.
Don't fucking excuse yourself. That shit. If a woman let out a big ass belch, I know it's chauvinistic. I know it's a double standard. That's just turn off me. I do not like that at all. I try to be a gentleman, even though I'm ignorant as fuck. But like, I need you to be somewhat of a lady.
Right.
Sometimes it may just happen, but like you up here just drinking a bottle of Mountain Dew and letting out a belch like you on Revenge of the Nerds or some shit. Nah, I can't. I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I don't want either one of them for real, for real.
So we talked about like that BDSM type of that spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
sexuality, that type of stuff, the fart porn and the smothering, that's all kind of like degradation. Do you think that kind of goes into that type of lifestyle?
I guess it could be. There is a part of BDSM that's humiliation. That's one little aspect of it. So I guess that could go into it. But I mean, in another realm, it could just be somebody's kink or fetish. I don't know.
Kink or fetish. That's
Kink
not
or fetish.
not the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. I was doing some research, as I tend to do.
Do some research, huh?
Doing some research, and I found out that kinks and fetishes are two different things. I didn't know that.
How do you differentiate between the two?
So, a kink, and I'm reading this because I want to make sure I get it right. A kink is a sexual behavior or practice that falls outside of standard sexual practices. So I guess the people who enjoy the farting, that would be a kink.
Okay.
So a fetish refers to a specific object, sexual or non-sexual body part or behavior that must be present to achieve a sexual arousal. So pretty much a kink is something, if it's there, you can get off. But a fetish is something that you have to have it to get off. That's what I understand from the differences.
So I would say like a fetish, like you got dudes who have fetishes for white girls.
Mm-hmm.
You got white dudes that got a fetish for black girls, right? They'll mess with other people, but it's like a fetish, like a BBW fetish.
But see, that's the thing. Is it something that they have to have? Because if they have to have it, then it's a fetish. But if it's something that they just like to have around, or it's their preferred way, then that may be just a kink.
I get the definition. Where'd you get the definition from?
Actually, I got it from two different articles, but this
See,
one's called masterclass.com, but I'm sure it's not the masterclass that's advertised.
okay. See, for me, Marv B's definition, right? This is my definition. I would say a fetish is like how I described it. Like, I got a fetish for big girls.
Okay.
I don't necessarily need to be with a big girl, but I got a fetish for big girls. That's
Okay.
how I kind of always looked at a fetish. And
Mm-hmm.
I know that sometimes fetishes can be a bad thing, especially when you talk about, the closet chubby chasers.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it could be a bad thing. And some you go to like those down low dudes. They live in with a family, they got a wife, girlfriend, or whatever, but down low they fetish is men. So
True.
that's my definition. I'm not trying, that's how I kind of a kink is like the fart porn, or I can only bust like if she's kissing on my neck, or I can only bust if she does like this one thing, like playing with my prostate. And anybody playing my prostate, I'm just using that as an example. So shit like that. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but from the definitions that I read, it would be the opposite. You're putting the wrong name with.
Okay. I get it. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I get it. So you care to share if you have a particular kink?
Well, first of all, I want to go back to something you said. You said that sometimes a fetish or kink can be bad for you. I did in the research I found two different numbers. One says there are like 239 different fetishes and kinks. Something else I read said that there are over 500 different fetishes and kinks. The article that I read that actually listed the 500, that article did say that that a lot of those fetishes and kinks can come from maybe some trauma in somebody's life,
Mm-hmm.
or something bad happened and that it led to a sexual deviance, or
Yeah, because not to get dark with it, but I have read of individuals who can only get off if they are inflicting trauma and pain on
mm-hmm.
the body because they went through a traumatic experience. So that is like, real on the real negative end of the spectrum. But
True.
I was more so saying like it's a bad thing if you aren't valuing that person.
Oh yeah.
Like if I like we can kick it, you a big girl, right? But I don't want to be seen with you. I just come over late at night, we get off and then that's it. You ain't gonna meet my boys, you ain't gonna meet my family, none of
Right.
and that could be, I mean, unless y'all have an agreement, like yo, we just, friends with benefits, and you making that, obvious from the jump. But yeah, I can see it. I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's kind of that's crazy. I've heard of closet chubby chasers. I guess that's the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would fall into it. Or people, and I would say maybe people of a different race who fetishize Black people but don't want to show it out in the open or something like that.
White boys do that shit all the time.
Yeah. I'm
Black
sure
girl.
you do.
Yeah, that's why I tell my sisters that want to play away games. Make sure he like you for you, and it's not just some fetish type of thing.
Yeah.
Because if it's just a fetish type of thing and he doesn't like you as a person, then the minute y'all get into a disagreement or something, some hard time comes up, you're gonna see how he is. Because just because a motherfucker has sex with you don't mean they're not racist. Hey,
True.
remember Massa had a bunch of Black kids too.
Exactly. Exactly.
So just make sure that they like you for you.
Right.
Yeah.
So to get off the dark side, bring it back around to the fun. Um, so I have two kinks because I can't say I have to have them, but I have two kinks. One is voyeurism. I think I've mentioned that before. The second one, before I learned about this, I always thought it was voyeurism because it's the same feeling I get of like peeking into somebody else's sex life, but it's the written form. And so that's called neurophilia. I hope I'm saying that right. But it's the I like to read erotic stories, or I like to hear people tell their erotic stories. Like I get off on those things.
What if it's your partner telling you a story?
I still love it. I mean, I've kind of hinted in the past that I've been in a relationship where we were,
Yeah, open.
dibbled and dabbled with others.
Gotcha.
And that would be one of the things, like after he was with somebody, I would want him to tell me the details. And he wouldn't give me enough. And I'm like, no, I want to know like from the beginning to the end, every single thing that happened. Like I want to hear it as if I was watching it.
But you realize that's very, very, very out of the ordinary.
I do. I do. But it's not something that I have to have. It's just something that I like. Like I remember I remember I don't want to say I had a family member, I'll put it that way, who had Playboys and Penthouse magazines when I was younger. And I remember flipping through one and it had to be a Penthouse. And there was a story in there, an erotic story.
Yeah.
And I was hooked from then. And then I remember going in, I used to love to read. I remember going into a bookstore.
I bet you did reading that shit.
I'm saying I used to like to read everything, but I remember going into a bookstore. So I used to go to bookstores all the time. That's why I said that. So I remember going into a bookstore one time and seeing this thing called Penthouse Letters. And I was like, what is this? And I opened it up and it was just books. I mean, it was just like stories and stories and stories. Man, I got every single volume of those books. I still have a few of them, but I don't read them as much as I used to, especially with the advent of the internet, and I could just type one up.
It was funny about that. My favorite auntie, I can't believe I'm talking about her on this show. But my favorite auntie, she's passed away. She used to read those soft porn novels, the ones that they would sell in the grocery store, at the cash register, with the candy and all that stuff.
Right.
She would read those books. What's to do with the what was his name? Fabio with the blonde hair and all that shit. She would read those books, and then one time, like my mom was a reader as well. But my mom was more so like, Black Powers, obviously me. But so I think she made it gave like my aunt one of her books a try. She was just like, "What the hell are you reading? This damn porn."
See, look at this. My mother used to read those too. They weren't erotic enough for me. That was, I mean, that was the equivalent pretty much of soft porn. Like it was not
soft
the
porn. Yeah, it's soft porn for real.
Yeah. And I remember when do you remember the book Black Noir? It came out, we're about the same age. It came out when we were in college. Because I remember everybody was talking about this. It was
I'm younger than you.
by a few months. Don't play with me. But anyway, I remember when that book came out. This was right before Zane, maybe in a few years before Zane came.
I remember Zane. I just remember Zane. That's all I remember.
Okay, this one was a few years before Zane, but everybody was. I remember in college, everybody was all excited because, first of all, it was a book of short stories by Black authors. Mm-hmm. Then it was Black erotic authors, and I remember reading, and the stories were good, but I was thinking in my head, this is vanilla. This could go a little more. So when Zane came out, I was all into her books.
Zane was a woman?
Yes.
Oh. I just assumed Zane, because you remember that there was like Eric Jerome Dickey,
Mm-hmm.
Elin Harris.
Mm-hmm. I read all their books.
They were all dudes.
Right.
I just assumed that Zane obviously is when that person's name, but I just assumed that it was a man.
No, that was one of the big things. I can't say controversy, but that was one of the things that was talked about a lot about her because she was a woman who was writing these books. And I've never seen her, but I've heard she's kind of homely looking.
What's
So
her?
people,
I'm trying to look up. What's her last name?
I don't. Zane is not even her real name. I
I
don't.
think it was let me see. Zane. No, she's not. So her name, Zane, is the pseudonym of Christina LaFern Roberts.
Mhm. That sounds familiar. Yeah.
No, she's not. Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so that's one of my kinks, neurophilia.
Shout out to Zane.
Right.
Shout out to Zane. Let's put it like this: a motherfucker got that the chubby chaser kink.
Hmm.
Zane gonna get the business. we just gonna leave it at that.
You are funny.
Sorry, so you had the neurophilia. What was the other one?
Erotic noir. I believe I think I'm saying the name of that book wrong. It
Okay,
wasn't just black noir. It was like erotic noir, something like that.
okay. And you got the voyeur.
Hmm. Yes.
So, with it's a voyeur, you got to have permission, though, right? You're not on no peeping tom shit, are
I mean, if I happen to see something, I'll watch.
you?
But I don't think I've like just run across, people without permission. Every time I've done it, it's been with permission.
I think the only time I've watched, obviously, permission, you know, at the club or private party, or so what about if you're at the hotel? You know, sometimes you're at the hotel and you can hear your neighbors. Does that satisfy the kink?
No. No,
You got to see it.
yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Well,
No.
you know, there's this.
Probably the person you hear. But that's another story. Never mind.
What'd you say?
Edit that out.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this since you shared. I have. You tell me if it's a kink or it's a fetish.
Okay.
So I've been watched. I've watched other people, right? Because I've been in the settings. I want to like be with my lady, and we go out with a friend, and then come back to the crib. Me and my lady start doing what we do, and our friend, woman, not dude, our friend sits and watch us perform.
That's exhibitionism.
Now she can get off, she can do what she want to do, or and all that, you know. But yeah, of course, I would like the threesome too. But like, I'd also would like to just, yeah, you sit and watch us do what we do.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's is that a kink or a fetish?
That's a kink. That's exhibitionism. But it depends. Do you need that to get off?
No,
Then I would say it's a kink. If you needed it, like it was beyond your control and you needed it to get off, then I would say that was a fetish.
I wouldn't want to be controlled in that way.
Yeah.
Like, what if you needed something that is so out of the ordinary that you know you would almost have to like find somebody that was cool with you getting off in that way, or pay somebody to do it. I seems like
Yeah.
that'd be a tough way to live.
But I think there are people who do. You just reminded me of something. Have you ever been with somebody who had a had a weird kink or fetish?
Yeah, talk about the humiliation. I had an ex-girlfriend that wanted you to beat on her.
Okay, not just a spanking or a light slap here and there, but
Like Ike Turner.
oh wow,
Yeah, she wanted you to beat on her.
okay.
Hell
That
no.
sounds like something that might come from something traumatic, but
Uh,
I'm
her
not
parents,
not a therapist.
she used to see her parents, I think, fight or what have you. But like, and I was young. I was young, and I should have just been like, no, I didn't beat on her, but I should have been like, nah, I'm just not comfortable with that. And she kept pushing the issue. She kept pushing the issue to the point where she started to try to provoke me, like
Oh,
try to call me out my name, say disrespectful stuff. And it got to the point where like she was like, "You're not gonna react," and she started talking shit about my mom or what have you.
oh
And
wow.
yeah, and it was like, and this went over like a few weeks or whatever. Her trying to provoke me to put my hands on her, and
Mhm.
I was like 17, 18, something like that, 19. Where I should have just been like, "You crazy as fuck. It's over," But yeah, that probably is the weirdest, because for her it was like, do that, like that's an expression of love, and then like we make up afterwards. Nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that sounds kind of crazy to me, but again, I'm not gonna yuck nobody's yum.
Nah, we can yuck that one. We can yuck that. Yeah, we can yuck
Yeah,
that.
that is only because that one sounds dangerous. Like the first thing that popped into my head was, is she still alive? Because if she's provoking people to that length, to I don't know. It's just
She had a lot of emotional issues, and I mean, I'm not gonna get too many details because I know we have mutual friends that watch the show, and if I give enough, they can kind of piece together who it was.
okay.
My age at the time kind of gives who it was, but um, yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on with her.
So there was a time years and years ago. I guess I was in my 20s. A lot of stuff happened when I was in my 20s. But anyway, this dude had what I consider a weird fetish. He had to play in my hair.
That's
The
okay.
hair
I see. Hey, look, you saw where I was kind of like trying to brace for it. I thought you was gonna be like I had to like pinch his balls real hard or some
No,
shit.
nothing like that. But what I guess turned me off was, and then usually I like people playing in my hair. Like I love going to the hairdresser. Like that's my thing. But it was weird because it was like he had to have it. Like he had to do it in order to come off, like to get off. That's what he said. Like I have to play in your hair. Like that's what gets me off. So that's just kind of weirded me out at the time.
I, I do have one. I don't want to give it though.
Okay.
But it's not weird. It's not
Mhm.
weird. I just don't want to give away my kryptonite.
Okay.
I just say this. I like having somebody kissing my neck and shit. Like you kissing my neck, kissing my neck and know how to talk dirty, then it's a good. Oh, that's one. I like the phone sex, dirty talk, nasty
Okay.
talk type shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that, especially if you're good at it. Because
Okay.
not all of y'all are good at it.
Nope, I'm not. I
Well,
can say that for sure.
that don't make no damn sense. You want to read the neurophilia and all this old shit, but then when somebody gets you to didn't you used to write poems? Didn't we talk about this last show? Butter
Yeah.
smooth,
But
butter.
that's the thing. I can write it, I can edit it, I can go back and change the stuff. But ad libbing and phone sex, you need to be able to ad lib. I mean, you could have some like set stuff, but you don't want to say the same things every time. That gets boring. Just like if you're having sex and you're doing like the same routine every time, it's going to get boring. So you have to be able to ad lib, and I'm not good ad libbing.
Not good if it's improv.
And I took improv class. I'm not I'm not good at it.
Mm, okay. Well, you ain't got to use words all the time, right?
Oh, I can participate in that way, yes, but I mean, it seems to me it should go back and forth.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. Tay, I think we told enough of our business on this show.
We did. We did. Another topic, please.
You got a nasty or normal? We ain't got nasty enough.
I think we got nasty enough.
All right. Well, tell people where they can find us.
You can find us at Conversate After Dark everywhere. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show or you have a topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at CVAD the podcast at gmail.com. Make sure you like this video, share it, and subscribe, and leave us a comment.
Yep. Go to our website, www.conversateafterdark.com. Check out the past episodes. We'll have you next time. Peace.
Bye.